How's it going, my dreamers? This is Born to Dream, and I am here with a little bit of a draft analyst video for the A.P.L League. I announced on Twitter, I think it was, a week and a half ago, that I was going to be in this league, and this is my first league that I've ever done. So I'm kind of excited, and I'm also kind of terrified. I don't do a ton of competitive battling. My competitive battling roots probably go all the way back to like 5th gen, and I haven't really done that much 6th gen or 7th gen competitive battling. In fact, I don't even think I've done any 7th gen competitive battling. But but nevertheless, this should be a rather interesting experience for myself. And this is the team I drafted. We drafted 11 Mons, so you guys can get like a little quick preview here. Let me make sure I'm like doing okay over here. I'm like, there's like a ton of stuff going on right now. I apologize, but so we have these 6 Mons and these other 5 Mons that I drafted. So I'm just gonna go over my thought process for these picks, but before I do, I should have a link in the description down below for the A.P.L League, so be sure to sub to that league, and I might put a few other YouTubers in there just to sub to. Minniemunch, who is running the league, definitely sub to him. Definitely want to thank him for letting me be a part of this league, and some other guys like in Vivid Colors in this league, Necro Stevo, you know, Elite 4 Dan, couple of notable guys in the smaller Pokemon community. So yeah, I just wanted to give those guys a quick shout out, and yeah. So also, this is one of the first leagues that I've seen that actually has like a little bit of incentive for winning. So there's some money on the line for this league, and there's about 20 people in this league, so I'm not really counting on winning anything, because there's like a top 4 prize, and I don't think I'm gonna be top 4, but I'm just here for the league experience and whatnot. So anyways, all that lovey-dovey bullshit aside, so I'm gonna go over my thought process for the draft here. So I ended up with the 10th pick, which is smack dab in the middle of the draft, and I thought I would like my, like being number 10, because like you get to pick like every 20 picks instead of being like getting the first pick and you have to wait 40 picks for a pick, or getting the last pick and you end up with like a really shitty mon, and and then you have to wait like 40 more picks after you make your 2 picks or whatever. But it's kind of difficult drafting in the middle of the draft, because you can't really plan too far ahead. I mean, like, for example, if I got like, say, the 3rd pick, I'd be like, okay, like when the 2nd round comes, I'm like, okay, I have like the 17th pick in this round. All I have to do is wait for 6 Mons to be picked. I could have a list of 7 Mons, and I will more than likely pick one of the Mons that I want, and it's like easier to like synergize with different Pokemons and such. But yeah, I didn't get that luxury, so it was I felt a little shaky drafting because of that, and because this is my first league, and also we are doing tiers in this league, so I will talk more about that later. But the first Mon I went with was Landorus-T, and I felt like Landorus-T was a great pick for me. He's probably one of the most versatile Mons you can actually get in the current meta right now, outside of probably Mew, because Mew can learn like every single move, but like Landorus-T is stronger. So with that lovely 145 base attack, so yeah, I was pretty ecstatic getting him. I obviously wanted like Celesteela or Jirachi to drop to me, but that wasn't going to happen. So I'm pretty satisfied with Lando-T. Lando-T can, you know, set up rocks, can U-turn his way out. It's got the Stab Earthquake, so it's going to be hitting all the steel types outside of Skarmory and Bronzong. And, you know, you can run different stuff. Like, I don't know if people run, like, Choice Specs, or not Choice Specs, Choice Scarf, Lando-T, or anything like that. But, yeah, he's pretty good. And I get the Intimidate drops, so I can, you know, stop sweepers temporarily, you know? And that's pretty... It's pretty nice. I was really, really happy with this pick. So, I had to sort of shore up. Well, the one weakness with Lando-T is he is very weak to ice types, and I had to make sure I shored that up pretty well. And I think these two picks synergize with Lando-T pretty well. The next pick was Metagross, and Metagross, I don't know how I'm going to use Metagross this season. As you can already see, I have a few, not Kartana, but I have a few other mons that are pretty slow. So there's a chance I might run like Trick Room Metagross, but it depends on the matchup. I don't know how often I'll be using Trick Room, but yeah. So, but with Metagross, you can, you know, go for like it gets priority bullet punch, so that's nice, you know. I think having priority moves is good. It's another stealth rock user. One thing about this draft is I think I got a fair amount of stealth rock users, which I love, because in any given week I could have like any three of these mons right here could have stealth rocks, and it sort of throws my opponent off, I guess. So yeah, and I can, you know, I don't know about Alolan Marowak, but I can run different sets with these two right here. So yeah, and Metagross is a very, very bulky mon too, with that 130 defense and 90 special defense and 80 HP is pretty respectable. It's just not the fastest thing in the world, but you get bullet punch and whatnot. So yeah. So next up is Mega Blastoise, and I wanted this to be Vaporeon because Vaporeon would be able to cover Lando-T nicely if I get, you know, hit with a water move. If I'm fearing like, for example, if somebody sends out like Gyarados or something, I know Gyarados has run like Ice Fang, but even if it was running like Ice Fang or something like that, I would have like Vaporeon, and then if I use a water move, well, I heal Vaporeon back up. Plus, Vaporeon has Wish and a bunch of other cute shit. So, because it's the evolutions get like a ton of good stuff, but it ended up being picked 4 picks ahead of me, which kind of sucked, but I went with Mega Blastoise. I didn't know if I really wanted to go Mega with this pick, but if I did pick Vaporeon, I probably would have picked like Mega Houndoom somewhere around here. I don't even know if Mega Houndoom got picked, but that was sort of my plan in terms of that, so that way I can handle like I think Mega Houndoom can, I don't know if Mega Houndoom can handle, it probably could handle Mamoswine, but like it can handle other steel types and, you know, psychic types like Latios. But I don't know about Latios, but like I guess Alakazam or Mega Alakazam. Actually, I don't know. I don't know Mega Houndoom's space speed. That's why I'm not really sure about it. But but anyways, I went with Mega Blastoise here. I feel like it was a good pick. He's very. One thing about these first 3 picks is they were very, very balanced in terms of stat distribution, and Mega Blastoise has that 135 special attack. So, like, you can run, like, it has the Mega Launcher ability, so I can run, like, Dark Pulse and Aura Spear and stuff like that on this thing, which I think is pretty nice because, you know, there's stuff like probably like you know, Gengar and I guess the Lottie Twins, if it can eat up a Draco Meteor. I don't know if it can, but it probably could. But you know, it can run stuff like that. I can run Rapid Spin on this thing. You know, I mean, Aura Spear like never misses, so that's kind of nice. So you're not depending on the RNG gods to get that final hit that you need to win. It actually learns. I did not know Blastoise learned Fake Out. I don't think I'm going to use it, but I didn't know Blastoise learned Fake Out until I looked at this thing. Jeez, okay, that's kind of cool. You can run Dragon Tail, I guess, if I want to force like different things. If I want to force like, because like I said, I have Stealth Rock users, so I can force different things out and whatnot. And then, yeah, Blastoise has a lot of good things, and I was thinking about Mega Swampert at this pick too, as sort of a counter to Rain if I went up against Rain, but Politoed and Pelipper didn't even get picked in this draft, which is kind of crazy to me. Like, I thought one of those would get scooped up, but they didn't. So there's like 20 people in this draft, and like they're like tier 2. So I will get into tiers when I get to. There's a pick here that I really want to explain through tiers. So yeah, but this basically Mega Blastoise, and as you can also see, most of my team is pretty physical too. So making this getting a really strong special attacker here was very important to me. So yeah. Next up is Kartana, and at this pick, I felt a little too balanced. Like these three right here are really nice mons, but I felt a little too balanced. So I felt like I had to make sort of a big play here, big play sort of pick. And Kartana it's got I think it's like top 3. It's a top 3 physical attacker. So yeah, this is definitely, I felt like I really had to sort of take a chance here. And you know, Kartana is a little limited, but like I said, I mean, its physical attack is so freaking high that, like, what is its physical attack if you did full investments? Like 473, that's crazy. Oh, 31 IVs. 507, that is insane. So yeah, yeah, Kartana, and then you get the Beast Boost too, which if you get a Beast Boost off and this thing is just like, you know, if this thing is just going ham on the team, like, you basically lose. Like, if you're able to outspeed, you know, most of your opponent's mons, your opponent's basically done. Problem with it is it's really, really, really especially weak, and if like I'm going up against a really good fire type like Mega Charizards, or you know, Heatran or anything like that, this thing will get absolutely wrecked. But I think I got pretty good counters, pretty decent counters, at least for Charizard. And then, I mean, I have Landorus-T, so Heatran's not too much of a problem, even if it had like air balloons. So yeah, so it's pretty. This was a pick where I really felt like I had to take a huge risk, and hopefully it pays off this season. So next up was Alolan Marowak. Alolan Marowak is to cover up like the fire weaknesses here between these two, and it also is a spin blocker, so that's kind of nice. Only thing is, it's Stealth Rock's weak, so I can't be switching this thing in and out too much. But I mean, I can run like Lightning Rod or Curse Body on this thing, which is cool. I can, you know, eat up electric hits for good old Blastoise here, or I can, you know, annoy my opponents with Curse Body if I wanted to. Even Rockhead. Rockhead would be good for, like, it learns Flare Blitz, right? I'm pretty sure it learns. Yeah, it learns Flare Blitz. So like I can run like Rockhead, Marowak if I'm really concerned of like. If I'm really concerned about residual damage and I don't want like Flare Blitz to basically take out my Alolan Marowak, because my opponent has some stealth rockers themselves, and I probably would end up switching this thing in and out a lot. So yeah, that's basically why I went with Alolan Marowak. Its defenses are decent. I think 60 HP is actually kind of weak, but 110, 180 defenses are pretty nice. The only thing is I have to run Thick Club with this thing, so that kind of sucks. But Alolan Marowak is a very, very strong mon, especially if you could get what moves? It learns it learns Sword Stance. So if you get a Sword Stance up or something like that, you're in pretty good shape. And it's very slow, which is bad. But again, I have Metagross here who can run Trick Room if I really feel like I can take advantage of Trick Room that week or whatever, So yeah, so that was sort of my thought process for Alolan Marowak. And then we got Mandibuzz here as well, who, of course, Mandibuzz is known for defogging stuff away, and Overcoat for, the sandstorms and the hails that are in the meta, which I probably will be seeing a fair amount of this season. But yeah, so, and Mandibuzz can, roost. It's basically here just to give me some bulk, make sure some, I have something to switch into for, some of my frailer mons. This thing can eat up Earthquakes for Marowak, for example, and Metagross. It can eat up Ghost hits with Alolan Marowak and Metagross. It's basically to synergize with these two. Yeah, so, and then Alolan Marowak can eat up electric hits for it. So, yeah, so, I mean, I can run Tailwind with this thing. I can run, Whirlwind, Defog, like I said. There's a lot of utility things that I do with this thing, and I was pretty happy I got this Mandibuzz here, just so I can have some bulk and I can have some utility on this team, because I needed something like that at around this pick, because a lot of my mons are sort of I wouldn't say they're all sweepers, but they're very, very strong mons, and yeah, I just needed something to sort of help them along. So that utility mon was supposed to be for Vaporeon, but I have Mandibuzz here, so we're Gucci, we're good. So so those were the first 6 picks. So let me get into the last 5 picks here. So most of these guys are NU, which when there's 20 people in the draft, you're gonna have some mons that aren't that great that are gonna be picked, because the pool gets pretty the pool gets pretty desaturated. There's 20 people in this league. There were 11 rounds, so 11 times 20 is 220, right? That was really quick math, but I'm pretty sure it's 220. So that's what? There's 700 and something Pokemon now, so 220 Pokemon is a lot. I'm pretty sure there's leagues where they have 10 and 11, and they need 110 Pokemon, and you probably don't get that many NU Pokemon. But so here's a really sad thing about this pick right here. This was not my original pick. This was something I picked up afterwards, because the thing about, if you guys have never done tier leagues, I have never done tier leagues, so this is why this mistake happened. In tier leagues, you have Pokemon that are tier 1, that are tier 2, tier 3. These guys, Landorus-T is obviously tier 1. Metagross is tier 2. Blastoise was tier 2, tier 1, tier 3, tier 2. So you have to make sure that you have a Pokemon from each tier. So I did not have a tier 4 here, and you also have to stay our league rules basically say that you have to stay under 1,000 points. And so I was like, if I picked a tier 4 and I, you know, made all my picks, I would have been at like 1,020 because this pick was originally Jolteon, and I was really happy with that pick because Jolteon can eat up electric moves, which is nice for like you know, again, like Mandibuzz and Mega Blastoise, and it's a really strong special attacker, and I was really gonna use that Jolteon to be like a choice specs user, so I can get, you know, some pretty strong special hits because I didn't really have a good special attacker on my team at the time. So other than Mega Blastoise, but you can't run choice specs Mega Blastoise. So Jolteon was supposed to be that, and it's supposed to be like a Volt Turner, which I'd probably like, you know, combo with like Landorus-T and stuff like that, just to give me more momentum. But I had to swap out Jolteon because it was a tier 3, and I had no tier 4s. I had tier 5s, but I didn't have any tier 4s, and if I did pick a tier 4, I would have been at like 1,020, which sucked. But I went with Rotom-M after the draft. Rotom, like everybody knows, you can run like Choice Scarf and Choice Specs Rotom, but you know, Grass isn't the best because, you know, there's fire types and whatnot. There's a pretty solid amount of fire types that are OU right now, I'm pretty sure. If not, there's probably some that are UU or even RU, but so running like so I went with Rotom-M, and you also get Leaf Storm, which Leaf Storm is pretty bad because of the special attack drop, but yeah, but basically I wanted something that was like a Volt Turner at this pick, and somebody that I could run either Choice Specs or Choice Scarf with and just use it as sort of like Mon where I can get momentum. If I'm not sure what my opponent's going to do, I would switch into, you know, Jolteon or Rotom-M and see what they're going to do, and then, you know, Volt switch out, and, you know, stuff like doing little stuff like that. But yeah, so instead of the 130 special attack, I get the 105, which, I mean, it's Rotom, so it's not bad, but it's not like, it's not as strong as I want it to be, basically. But Rotom, like, any form of Rotom is pretty freaking good, though, so I guess I will take that. And then Weezing, if you guys have seen on the channel, I've had a, like, just for Let's Plays, I've had a pretty what am I looking for? I've had a pretty good time with Weezing. Like, I really do like Weezing. Weezing is very bulky, for the most part, and yeah, and it can, in competitive, it can set up like, you know, toxic spikes, and it's a poison attacker, so fairies aren't really a problem. It can run Haze. Haze is awesome to stop sweepers. Destiny Bond if you really want to be that guy, or Explosion if you want to be that guy. But it's Pain Split to recover. I mean, there's a lot of things that Weezing, Will-O-Wisp. There's just a lot of things that Weezing can do to sort of take control back from myself through a game, as long as like my opponent doesn't have any really strong psychic types to counter this thing, or a really strong steel type, and even steel types you could burn. So I guess as long as it's not like Heatran, I can sort of have this take back some momentum for myself, you know, which is good, you know, take back some control, I guess you could say. So I mean, there's a ton of stuff I can run with Weezing, and so it's definitely a tier 5 that I wanted. So so next up we have Poliwrath, and Poliwrath basically is there to, you know, eat up water hits. Like, it has water absorb, so it's able to eat up those hits, and I can run, you know, fighting moves. I think I needed a fighting type, because I don't know if I really had a sort of check to dark types, such as like like, I can't really think of a good dark type at the top of my head right this second, but like maybe Hydreigon or something, I don't know. But I just felt like I needed a fighting type there, and you know, Poliwrath works pretty well with my team, I guess. And I was thinking after the draft, because we need a Z captain, so I was thinking of maybe giving this thing like Z belly drum or something like that, something crazy like that, but it's too slow to abuse it. So I don't know who my Z captain is going to be yet, but I mean, it can run like, you know, circle throw is a good move to force my opponent out. So I can run like are you good? What are you? Are you a physical or special? You're a physical attacker. Okay. So I don't know. Ice Punch works. Yeah. Waterfall. People usually run Waterfall on Poliwrath, I'm pretty sure. I mean, you can go for like this sub Z belly. That's two. That's way too much setup. If someone literally let me get like a sub Z belly drum up, like I don't know what they're doing in this league. I'll be completely honest there. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe that's something I'll try like at the end of the season. I don't know. But yeah. So I don't know if Poliwrath will see too much time on my team, but it provides some niches that I might need. Yeah, so, and I can run Swift Swim with this, which is cool, because if anyone does end up picking up Poliwrath, Pelipper or Politoed, I got that Swift Swim counter, so we're good. So next up was Golurk, and I felt like I needed a Nerf spin blocker, so Golurk was a pretty good mon for that. I remember the Golurk was pretty predictable in Gen 5, so it's probably the same here, but like basically Golurk just did sub Focus Punch, so I might try not doing that. But I mean, yeah, it's I mean, I can run like Heavy Slam for those fairy types, and you know, I can run different elemental punches, Drain Punch to get HP back. I could do some things with this thing. Rock Polish if I really wanted to be that guy, but it has like base 55 speed, so I probably won't do that. Yeah, so it's I don't know if it was the greatest pick. I should have gone with like Exatu at this pick, because Exatu was still there, and I didn't realize Exatu was like tier 5, so you know, I should have gone with that over this, but I might be able to find something for this thing later in the season. It's a Nerf Stealth Rocker too, which is cool. So yeah, and then the last pick I went with was Houndoom, because I needed like I said before, I needed a special attacker, and this is around the time where I realized, oh shit, I'm gonna have to drop Jolteon. So I went with Houndoom here, just a regular Houndoom, and Houndoom can do some things like it's not the greatest special attacker, but you know, it's decent, and you can run, you know, basically you run like Fire Blast and Dark Pulse or whatever, but I don't think it really has any. Does it have any? It has Nasty Blood, but yeah, and you can run Sucker Punch and stuff like that, Will-O-Wisp, all that good stuff, and then you know, eat up fire hits with Flash Fire. I don't know. I guess I have Rotom-M, and I have Metagross and Kartana, so it could synergize decently with those, but Houndoom might not see a lot of time either. It depends on the matchup. If someone's like, if I'm going up against like Ferrothorn or something like that, maybe. Because I mean, I think I am with the first 6 picks, I might be a little Ferrothorn weak. I think I am. So maybe if I'm going up against Ferrothorn that week or something, I might, you know, try Houndoom. But yeah, so that's sort of where I needed Houndoom, was for Ferrothorn and for other grass and steel types that maybe my current team can't handle. So this is your... I didn't even see what my team name was. My team name is going to be the Phoenix Probopasses, and because Probopass has like the greatest cry of all time. Fight me in the comments section, I dare you. So, yeah, so this is your Phoenix Probopasses. Be sure to check out the A.P.L League if you are interested in seeing how that goes this season. It should be a very fun season. I'm looking forward to it. I don't know how I will do with this team. So this is all a learning experience for me, so I'm not really trying to win with this team. I'm just trying to do good, I guess. I'm trying to do well. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to, you know, win the money. If I mean, obviously I would love to win the money, but like, you know, just for right now, I'm just trying to, you know, do better than do 50% or better, basically. So that's sort of my goal. If you know, I start out 3-0 somehow, and you know, I feel pretty good about the league, then maybe we'll start talking about cash prizes. But you know, I just want to do well. That's all I want. That's all I want this season. And then maybe in the next league or season 3 of this league, I might just, you know, really try to win cash or whatever, you know, or try to be in first, because not a lot of leagues do like incentivized prizes like this league does. But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I think this week I might be able to. We might be doing week 1 this week, so look forward to that video. It's gonna be mostly showdown, so I can't really do Wi-Fi because I don't have a capture card, so that kind of sucks. But yeah, week 1 should be sometime this week. I don't know who I'm facing, so you guys will find out when that video hits. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video when I go ahead and take on my opponent, whoever that is, among the other 20 or the other 19 candidates in this league. And yeah, I'll see you guys in that video. Keep living the dream. Goodbye.